Rodney Harrison loved playing against quarterbacks like that. The Football Night in America analyst, two-time Super Bowl champ, and hopefully on the doorstep of being a Hall of Famer one day. Steelers taking on the Chargers Sunday Night Football. Rodney joins us on the program. Rod, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Dan. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm curious how Bill Belichick would defend Mac Jones.
Well, he's a rookie quarterback, and just like most rookie quarterbacks, and you've seen the Baltimore Ravens, you've seen Mike Zimmer, the Minnesota Vikings, you've seen the Patriots do the same thing against Justin Herbert. So they don't care. These defensive coordinators don't care how good you are, how good of a young player you are. They're going to show you different looks. They're going to try to confuse you. They're going to pressure you. And that's what you're seeing from a lot of these defensive coordinators going against young quarterbacks. Zach Wilson is one of them. And, even Joe Burrow. You see these defensive coordinators trying to create confusion and get these guys to throw interceptions, and that's what they've been doing.
Are you all in on Mac Jones? The love for
Absolutely.
Mac Jones? Yeah?
Absolutely. I thought that was the still of the draft. I mean, when Kyle Shanahan had an opportunity, I think at the 3 spot or whatever, to grab him, I was hoping that he didn't get him. Because I'm like, this dude fits perfectly. I mean, for him to be able to go in from Nick Saban's system to Bill Belichick's system and basically just change jerseys and, two very similar guys that do things a certain way, I thought it was a blessing.
But do you see, and I know this is a dangerous comparison, but let me compare it to Brady first starting with New England, Mac Jones first starting. Is Mac ahead of schedule from where Tom Brady was?
I think I don't know about all that. All I know is this is a young, good player. He's a guy that works hard. He puts his team first. He cares about winning. He cares about preparation. He cares about doing all the little things. And I think you see the Patriots are starting to come together as a team. All the fundamentals, all the little things that Coach Belichick teaches, these guys are starting to trust and believe in. And you're starting to see it. They're starting to win football games, Dan.
Okay.
But this, let me just say this. This is a very good young quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's very tough on himself, and he stays in the moment. That's what they tell me. He's so focused, and he stays in the moment that, he's just a really good, smart football player, and they love him.
Why do you think the Niners decided that they were going to take Trey Lance instead of Mac Jones?
Probably public pressure. I mean, everybody wants to get into this. I need an athletic quarterback. I need an athletic quarterback. Yeah, he can run around, and do all these incredible plays at times, but you need somebody that can sit in the pocket, read the defenses, communicate to the offense, get everybody in the right position. And sometimes that's not sexy enough. A lot of these, coaches, they fall to the pressure of the public, man. And when you get a guy like Mac Jones, who's smart, who puts the team first, who does things right, I don't see how you can bypass a guy like that. And ultimately, when you make a decision like that, it can ultimately cost you your job. Look what's going on in Chicago with Matt Nagy. I mean, how many times does he get to screw up a quarterback situation and keep a job?
Well, he might have gotten this one right with Justin Fields.
Well, it's not like they're getting it right because they still haven't done a good job of putting offensive line in front of the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy.
Well, that's why I always go back to Andrew Luck, Rod. And it's nice to have a $100 million quarterback, but if you got, a 25-cent offensive line, then it's a poor investment. And I think Andrew Luck fell out of love with football. He was getting beat up, and he was still a very good quarterback, but he wasn't being protected. They finally got around to protecting him, and then he's like, I'm going to check out. I don't want to play anymore.
And then think of this too. I mean, just because you're a great football player doesn't mean that you want to play 20 years in the NFL. Guys have goals. Hey, I want to play 10 years in the league. I want to make my money, save my money, and move on and do something else. It's nothing wrong with that. And just because Andrew Luck was a household name, he's a big-time quarterback, he was a first pick overall, doesn't mean that he wants to stay in the league forever. Especially getting your brains beat out with a garbage offensive line.
Is Ben Roethlisberger still a good quarterback?
No. He's smart. He can make some throws, but you can't depend on him. You don't know what he's going to give you every single week. I love Big Ben, and Ben should be in the Hall of Fame. I played against Ben. He's an ultimate competitor. But at this time and stage in his career, he's a guy that's leading those young guys. He's more of a mentor to them. But when I watch him play, he's not very good.
Is Brady better at anything now than he was 5 years ago?
I think he's just really good at everything because, like, when you talk to him, the rules have changed, which really help the offensive players. He has said, hey, man, defensive players can't do anything. The game's gotten easier. So the game has gotten easier because you can't put your hands on the guys. Anytime you throw it down the field, you bump a receiver, the flags are coming out. So he just always tells me, hey, man, I feel so bad for you guys because you guys can't play defense anymore.
How would you defend Odell Beckham?
How would I defend him?
Yeah.
I really don't have to defend him if this team's not throwing him the ball. He's a talented young man. And I talked to him when he was in Atlanta in the preseason, Dan. The kid just wants to play football. He's not into all this other crazy stuff that he was into before. He just wants to go out there and play football. And it's going to take some time to implement an offense. But to me, like, how hard is it to throw Odell Beckham a screen? How hard is it to throw him a slant route? How hard is it to tell him to run a deep dig at 12 yards and come inside? Like, to me, all you have to do is give him an opportunity. And these offensive coordinators are making it so difficult with a guy with that level of talent. Just throw him the damn ball. That's all you have to do and give him a chance. But you look at the Rams, they're going all in, they're trading people, and they don't understand. Like, it comes down to chemistry. If you have chemistry on your team, you're going to have a chance of winning. And also, you look at Matthew Stafford. What the heck is he doing? Is this the Matthew Stafford that we saw in Detroit? Like, what's going on with him? He can't just drop back and throw the ball up for grabs. Like, who does that?
Well, normally we didn't focus on Matthew Stafford playing an entire game because we didn't watch the Lions. Now he's on display, and now people are, tuning in and watching these throws. And now you're playing on a bigger stage. The stakes are extremely high. Super Bowl or bust. And I think that's what I want to watch the second half of the season. And if they make it to the postseason, there's certain guys, when they get to the postseason, they become a different player, whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of pressure's on Sean McVay because he got rid of Jared Goff. And remember, these are the same dudes that gave Jared Goff over $100 million. And then you give up the house and you're getting rid of players. You don't have a first round pick for the next 3-4 years. They better win. And the way Von Miller looked at times last week, he didn't look like, the Von Miller that I'm used to seeing. So if I'm the Rams, I got a lot of question marks, and it starts with Sean McVay.
Rodney Harrison, NBC Football Night in America, and of course won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots. The defense being employed against Kansas City, what exactly is different this year than previous years of how teams are playing Patrick Mahomes?
Well, before, I guess teams, when they first didn't really know Patrick Mahomes, they came out and tried to blitz him and play man-to-man and all these different things. But most teams are just keeping 2 safeties deep and saying, Patrick, you know what? We know you want to throw the ball down the field. We're going to take away these big plays down the field, and we're going to force you to go up and down the field, 8 to 10, 12 play drives, and see if you can stay patient enough to do that. And before, he said that was something that he struggled with. But like when I picked them Kansas City against the Raiders, I just knew that Andy Reid would make the necessary adjustments. This is an offense that's been to the last 2 Super Bowls. Kansas City is going to be right there. I don't care how they're looking. Talk to Chris Jones. That defense is going to improve, but that offense is going to be right there at the end of the season, Dan.
Where do you stand with the taunting rule with the NFL?
I don't like it. I get it. The rule is the rule, and players have to respect the rule. But at the same time, I've always said these are the best 2,000 players in the world. Like, come on, man. Like, these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. Let them celebrate. Let them have fun. That's what the game is about. Other players know because they've been on the receiving end as well. Like, we like to celebrate as players. And when somebody else is celebrating, you got to let them celebrate, give them their props, and keep it moving. But I just think the NFL needs to loosen up, man. This is the NFL. We should be having fun, man. Shouldn't have to worry about no taunting.
You didn't taunt.
I didn't have to because, I hit you and get back up and say, hey, I'm coming back to you. Hey, Dan, let me just say this too. Let me just say this. Like if somebody needs a shot lesson, they need to come to you. Your jump shot is money. I remember us at Sam Flood's house, our old producer.
We went out there for Thanksgiving. and Rodney was talking a lot of junk. And I said, Rod, like I'll go out, but I'm gonna crush you. Like I was mad at him. And we went outside, turned on the spotlight, And I think I took a shot and it's in the air and I just kept walking to the house. I was so mad that you made me go outside. I loved it. I'm the Tom Brady of backyard basketball.
Man, let me tell you, we had some great times, man. I miss being in the studio with you too, boss.
I had so much fun with you and Tony. I mean, that's what made that so much fun is, and you talk about this with chemistry as a player and Tony as a coach, when you have trust in each other. It was just a lot of fun, and you guys came in and had the right approach. You said, treat us like rookies. We have to learn TV. And a lot of times people come in and they go, I just put on a microphone and a suit and tie and talk. And I just didn't want to sugarcoat it. I wanted to make sure you guys learned how to do it, and then you'd be teaching other guys who came in. So, you guys listened.
No doubt, bro. And we definitely appreciate it, and we would not have lasted. I mean, this is year 13 on that show. And,
Wow.
My role is a little different. I'm at the stadium, but to be able to do that show with you as long as I've done it and learn as much and absorb all of the knowledge and wisdom that you've given me, I definitely appreciate it. I know Coach feels the same way, Dan.
What is it like, though, to be on the field and want to hit somebody? Like, do you get
it? It's awesome. Just like your boy I knocked out, remember it?
McLovin.
Yeah, McLovin. I destroyed him.
Cheap shot. That was a cheap shot.
Oh, my God. That was one of the great setups. Where we're like, McLovin's going to act like a quarterback, and then Rodney's going to act like he's going to hit you, and Rodney popped McLovin.
That's a 15-yard flag if I've ever seen one in my life.
No, that was not. That was clean.
And you know what? And it was probably worth a $20,000 fine, and I was fine with paying it.
How much were you fined in your career?
A little over $300,000 after tax.
What was the one that was absolutely worth it?
Oh, Jerry Rice. And you know what? It was amazing that they would find me a game check. And back then, I think the game check was $120,000. So it was some really good money, especially from a kid coming from Markham, Illinois. That's a lot of money to give up. But Jerry Rice did that slant, and I got a chance to hit him. And I tell you, Dan, I would have spent $500,000 on that just to get a chance to knock his freaking head off. As much as I love Jerry Rice. It was awesome.
But why do you want to light up Jerry Rice?
Because he's the enemy. He's the receiver. All offensive players are the enemy. You know that. And I love Jerry Rice. I mean, I got a chance as a young player to see him practice against the San Francisco 49ers and his work ethic and discipline. But when it came down to that game, I was not afraid of Jerry Rice, and I wanted him to know my name.
Did you need to get fined? Should you have been fined for the hit?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if anything, it should have been but you know what, Dan, I had a reputation, and, people at the front office really, they had it out for me, and it was all good. Like I said, you can't miss something that you never had.
But do you write a check to the NFL back then, or they take it just out of your check? Is it like direct withdrawal?
Well, you just don't collect the check. You look in your bank account and you see all those zeros, and then you see no zeros.
Were you married at the time?
98. No, I wasn't married, but I had mom that I was taking care of and stuff like that. And I told her, I was like, Mom, listen, I said, I got some money. I got a little money.
And I would have a lot more money if I didn't keep hitting guys.
Hey, but you know what, Dan? You can't slow a guy like me down. Obviously I have to play smarter at times, but you always want a young guy that's hungry, that's physical to kind of do their thing.
But you couldn't play like that now.
Yeah, and I probably would have lasted 20 years too. I mean, think about it. The guys are getting paid a heck of a lot more money. You can't hit. Just watch when they play. They don't even tackle anymore. They tackle the football. They just tackle the football. And everybody tries to go for the football. And then the convoy just goes 5, 10, 15 yards right into the end zone. It's crazy. It's different the way they play football now.
Yeah, and the role of the safety. Like, it feels like the role that, although Jamal Adams does play with the physicality there, but, the days of Ronnie Lott, those are long gone, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Because, I see referees or officials calling flags, And it's not even a legal hit, but it's because of the severity of the hit, how hard someone hit. Now, you can hit the guy the same way, but if you kind of just hit him and lay him down, it won't be a flag. But if you just absolutely run through them, they're throwing flags from everywhere. And it's like, it has to be an egregious hit. It can't be just because it's a very physical hit, you're throwing flags.
Who was that running back when he came through? It was like, this is going to hurt.
Brandon Jacobs, Jamal Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens. I was a young player with Barry Sanders. He juked me one time at the goal line, stuck his head down, ran me over on Monday Night Football, and ran me over. And that was my introduction to the league. And after that, Dan, I said, I'm gonna do more squats. I'm gonna get my legs stronger because he embarrassed me as a young player.
Barry embarrassed a lot of people.
Yes, he did. But it was fantastic, man.
Hey, tell everybody I said hello. Always great to talk to you. Hope family's great, buddy.
You too, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you, Fritz.
That's Rodney Harrison, NBC Football Night in America, and won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots.